Good day, everyone. I am Hazel Ballesteros, and for today, I am going to share with you the flow and process of communication. But before we dive into how it works, let's answer a simple question first. What is communication? Well, communication is simply the process of sharing and exchanging messages, ideas, information, or feelings between two or more people. In our daily lives, we communicate all the time. We chat with our friends, post on social media, answer questions in class, or talk to our families. We use it to build connections, share our thoughts, and understand one another. But have you ever wondered, how does an idea actually get from my mind to someone else's mind? Like, what is the process of it? So, the first one is it always begins with the sender. The sender is the individual who initiates or starts the message. The sender is the source. It starts when you have an idea, a feeling, an instruction, or information that you want to share with someone else. However, another person cannot read your mind. Your thoughts have to be converted into something the other person can actually hear, read, or see. This leads us to a very important, it is called encoding. Well, encoding simply means talking your inner thoughts and turning them into a format that can be shared, like spoken words, written text, symbol, pictures, or even body language like uh, a wave or a smile. For example, if you want to invite your classmate to study with your after school, or your brain takes the thought and encodes into words like, hey, do you want to review together later, like that. And so a good sender always chooses clear and simple words. So once your idea is encoded into a message, it needs a way to travel. This brings us to the second one is the channel. So the channel is the tool, path, or medium used to send the message. Depending on the situation, you can pick different channels. It could be face-to-face conversation, using your voice, a text, message, or chat app on your cell phone, an email on a laptop, a written letter or document, or even post on social media. Choosing the right channel is super important. For example, if you need to explain a long and complex school project, a face-to-face talk or a detailed document is much better channel than a quick 5-second voice clip. Now, while the message is traveling through the channel, it can run into a common problem called noise. Noise is anything that blocks, distorts, or interferes with the message. It can be literal physical noise like noisy electric fan or people talking loudly around you, but it can also be a technical noise like a weak internet connection during an online class, or even personal noise like being tired or distracted. Good communication when we try our best to reduce noise. After passing through the channel, the message arrives at its target, the receiver. The receiver is the person or audience listening to, reading or observing the message, but getting the message is only half the job. The receiver must also perform a step called decoding. Well, decoding is the opposite of encoding. It means talking the sender's word or signals and interpreting them to understand the meaning. To decode properly, the receiver needs to be actively listening, observing, and paying attention. Have you ever heard the same sentence mean two different things depending on how it was said? That's because every receiver interprets messages based on their own past experiences, feelings, and attention span. For example, mm, if a teacher says we have a surprise today, one student might decode it is an exciting game, while another student might decode it as a pop quiz. That's why active listening is so important. Now, the receiver has interpreted the message. Is the process finished? Not yet. The final and most crucial step that completes the loop is feedback. Feedback is the response, reaction, or answer sent back by the receiver to the original sender. Feedback tells the sender, yes, I received your message and here is how I understood it. Feedback can be verbal, such as answering question, replying to a text, or asking for clarification if something wasn't clear. But feedback can also be non-verbal. It can be nod of agreement, a smile, a thumbs up, or even confused look on your face. Without feedback, the communication is incomplete. The sender would be left guessing whether the receiver got the message or understood it correctly. Feedback is what turns a one-way speech into a real two-way communication. So, now that we understand the simple flow and process of the communication, uh, we should practice it daily by speaking clearly, choosing the right channels, listening attentively, and giving honest feedback so that we can create a better understanding, avoid unnecessary misunderstanding, and build stronger relationship with everyone around us. And that's all for my reporting. Thank you so much for listening.